12 ways to make people think in your way. So these principles can be used in the entire sales processes and in negotiation, objection handling, and even in presentation. And let me take you through each one of them in deep dive. The first one, show respect for other person's opinion. Never tell a person is wrong. Friends, remember, in life, each one of us, based upon our experience, our conditioning, our education, we form our own opinion. And opinions are different points of views. So it can never be said to be wrong. So remember this. As a professional sales commando, you need to remember that you should never tell that somebody other person's opinion is wrong. It may be his perspective, and you may have a different perspective depending upon from which viewpoint you're looking at. So show respect for other person's opinion and appreciate it. You may not accept it, but you don't have to make it wrong. Don't be righteous in your approach, and automatically this will enable you to have a better communication, better relatedness, better understanding with the other person. The second one, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Friends, argument is about who is right. In argument, normally the ego factor comes in. As we know, ego is edging growth out, edging God out, edging goodness out. So consciously never get it into an personal thing. Never make it into an individualized thing. Always look out for debating or for discussion. Because in debating and discussion, it is what is right, not who is right. Whereas when you come down to argument, it gets into who is right, which is more of an individualized, personalized thing, which needs to be consciously avoided. At the most, you can always say, let's agree to disagree and move forward. So if this is the way in which you can avoid confrontation or things becoming personal and ugly, very, very important, especially in every sales communication and sales process. The third point, if you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. Friends, remember, no human being is perfect. Each of us have got our own inadequacies. And depending upon situation, you may also be wrong. So by coming from a broader perspective, whenever you realize that you have gone wrong or you have erred, be the first one to accept it. Be vulnerable and accept your mistakes or your wrong assumptions or wrong interpretation and say that openly. I promise you, this vulnerability makes you very enticing, makes you very related, and the other person starts appreciating you, and that's what we human beings are. It is called as being human. So very, very important point is, don't try to hide a mistake. Don't try to justify a mistake. Don't try to blame or complain or compare or deny. Because all those are negative tunnels which lead you to nowhere. It will only lead you to arguments. It will only lead you to further disharmony between the relationship. And this will ultimately result in creating a barrier between both of you, which will ultimately not lead you to any positive conclusions. Fourth one, begin in a friendly way. Friends, remember, we are all human beings. It is very, very important for you to always have an optimistic viewpoint, positive and possibility thinking, and always consider the other human being to be also good. We always talk about this, that each one of us is unique like a Kohinoor diamond. Each one of us is as worthy as a Kohinoor diamond. We are priceless because in the entire world, there's nobody else like you. So you are priceless. Similarly, the other human being also is priceless because he also is somebody who is unique. So consider from this perspective that everybody in this world is unique and Kohinoor-like. So begin in a friendly way. Don't have any presumption. Don't have any prejudice. Don't have any earlier false impressions. Don't carry the past in the present and thereby foul the entire thing. Because when you begin in a friendly way, it's a positive energy, thereby the possibility of it, the entire discussion, conversation, communication going in a positive way is more when you start in a friendly way. Always see godliness in everybody, as we call it as. See the other person as priceless, unique, like a Kohinoor. And this will enable you to have a harmonious relationship with other human beings. Fifth point, get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. It's very important to have an affirmative outlook, even an affirmative response from the others. How do you get yeses? By saying something which is a universal truth, by saying something which is win-win for everybody, something which is morally right. Automatically you will say that the other person is going to tell you yes. When you are selfless in your communication, when your context is win-win, automatically you can make or you can frame statements which will be agreeable. So what this particular fifth point means is, start with the agreeable thing, not with the disagreeable thing. Also remember, it's always important to start in a positive note, and that exactly creates a positive ecosystem, environment, and thereby it moves the sales process, the communication, the negotiation, the objection handling, or any other or presentation. Everything goes in a positive way when you have positive affirmative start to every conversation. Sixth one, let the other person do a great deal of talking. Friend, this is a premise which has to be continuously followed. This is a fundamental which has to be remembered, practiced, and implemented in all your interaction. Very important, everybody likes to talk. Give them that opportunity. Second one is, remember, when you listen, you learn more. Somebody else is talking, he is divulging information, he is divulging data, which is always going to be useful for you. When you listen, another person talks, you are learning something new. So you are anyway getting a huge amount of advantage just by listening. So let the other person do the talking. Remember the context. You have got 2 ears and 2 eyes to listen and only 1 mouth to speak. So always keep that ratio of 80% listening, 20% talking. And this will be hugely beneficial for your every conversation that you have. Seventh point is let the other person feel that the ideas is. Because everybody has got ego. So everybody has got a self-esteem and self-worth. So whenever you are discussing, whenever you are conversing, whenever you are debating, whenever you are having a healthy conversation, there may be some points which come about. Be magnanimous. Have the self-confidence in yourself. If somebody has made a point, and if you feel that the contribution has come from both sides, still give the credit to the other person. This is magnanimity. This is generosity. This is coming from a level and a state of confidence. Let the other person feel the ideas is, because remember, when you make the other person believe that the ideas is, he is going to support it and take it to the logical conclusion, especially those ideas which are forwarding in your sales conversation. So whenever it is forwarding, and if you feel that you can give the credit to him, he will take it forward and help you to reach a positive conclusion. So let the other person feel that the idea is his, and thereby take the ownership and also the onus of responsibility for taking it forward. Because once if he takes as his idea, he's going to stick to it, he's going to defend it. And if the idea is which is mutually beneficial, or if it is forwarding, it's always good to have such a stand of the other person. Eighth point, try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Here again, it's a point of empathy. As I said, in any transaction, in any negotiation, in any presentation, it's always important to always keep away from too much focus on yourself. But let me tell you one thing very frankly, whenever your focus is too much on yourself, especially when you are presenting or while doing any of the sales processes, you would automatically be more tense. You will be automatically more anxious. You will be automatically, having more of nervous energy. Whereas if you consciously practice to focus on the other person's words, feelings, emotions, intention, you will see that you will be able to get much more appreciation about other person's point of view, and you will also be able to appreciate the experiences and the expertise from where the other person is making a statement. So try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. With this empathy, you will create a climate of understanding, and with a climate of understanding, automatically it's bound to have better relatedness in the entire conversation, and this will make it more forwarding. Ninth point, be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. This is very similar to this point number 7. Be sympathetic. And empathetic and sympathetic are like brothers and sisters. So it's always very important that anybody's ideas or desires of the other person needs to be appreciated, needs to be encouraged. And if it is not going to be anything negative for you, or not going to take away something huge from your side in terms of the commercial interest or in the entire transaction, it's nothing wrong to be sympathetic with the other person. By being sympathetic, you are able to understand him better. And by ensuring that you are encouraging the other person to share his ideas and desires, you will be also able to identify his need, desire and problems. And on the basis of these information, data, you will be able to give the presentation or talk in terms of your feature advantage benefit when you are presenting your point of view to convince him easier. So first of all, understand his ideas, understanding his desires, and keep that in point of view by encouraging him to speak about it. And second is, you can tailor your presentation keeping in sync with his ideas and desires. This will have a much better acceptability from the other party, which is going to be very important for you to forward it and to have a long-term win-win transaction. The 10th one, appeal to nobler motives. Friends, remember, ultimately we are dealing with human beings, and you have to have this premise in mind that every human being is good, basically. Yeah, some of them do get into a deviant behavior because of circumstances, because of some individualistic thoughts and desires, or because of some external factor or circumstances. But generally remember, every human being is good, and you have to appeal to the nobler motives. Everybody wants to do the right thing because truth is close to everybody's heart. Only some of them are not able to practice it because of some wrong conditioning or thought process. But you can always appeal to nobler motives. Make statements like, let's go by the truth. Let's think about win-win. Let's all prosper. So these are all nobler motives which can be appealed to whenever you are having a sales conversation, whenever there is a hurdle or some barrier or some stop. Appeal to the nobler motives and ensure that you are able to bring out that humaneness in a conversation which will help you to take it forward. 11th point, dramatize your ideas. Very, very important again. Human beings are emotional beings. Human beings get impacted by feelings and by emotions. So many times whenever you have to say something, make it dramatic. Making it dramatic makes it appealing to people. Lace your information with emotion by something like storytelling. When you have the storytelling ability, it helps you, because remember, facts only tell, stories sell. So always create in a form of a story and present it to him, or share from your personal experiences and examples, or somebody else, some other known, well-known personality stories and examples. This really helps. So sometimes human beings like to be dramatized because we are all emotional beings, and we human beings take most of the decisions emotionally and then subsequently justify the same logically. So keeping that in mind, dramatize your ideas by talking about your personal experiences, talking about stories, and thereby ensure that your communication becomes effective. The 12th and the most important one is throw down a challenge. Whenever you are in a situation, whenever you have a high objective, high goal, and which apparently looks difficult, throw down a challenge to yourself as well as the other person. And especially when you are confident about the proposal which you are talking about. When you are confident about your ability and capacity, throw down a challenge and bring in that competitiveness in your person with whom you are talking with, and ensure everybody to go beyond their comfort zone in order to achieve a proposal. This is very, very important, especially for you to have exponential growth, a quantum leap in terms of achieving your goals and objectives. So friends, remember all these 12 important ways or points or principles to make people think in your way. This is a very important aspect of people skill, which is a very, very important learnable skill which everyone should try to learn, understand and master. They are: show respect for the person's opinion, never tell a person is wrong. Second one, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Third one, if you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. Fourth one, begin in a friendly way. Fifth one, get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. Sixth one, let the other person do a great deal of talking. 7, let the other person feel that the idea is his. 8, try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. 9th, be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. 10th one, appeal to nobler motives. 11th, dramatize your ideas. 12th, throw down a challenge. Friends, I would strongly appeal each one of you to really understand it, deep dive into it, practice it and master it, and this would help you in the entire sales process. Be it your presentation, be it your negotiation, be it your objection handling, or be it in the general rapport building process. This can be an invaluable tool.